I hope you got a chance to do things like copy and paste using commands like dd to delete, actually cut a single line, and then p to do a paste. Let's just take a look at that. So I'm going to edit this file xyz. Well, let's just edit the xyz plus file. Okay, so let's go into the middle of this, and I'm going to hit dd to delete, or sorry, dd to cut a single line. dd, I cut it. I'm still in command mode. I can go anywhere I want, and then I can paste it. So I'm going to hit P, and it gets pasted after the line that I'm currently at. So let's say I go back here, and I hit that was lowercase p. Sorry, I should have made that clear. So I just typed in lowercase p, and this line popped up right afterwards, pasted just afterwards. I'm going to try uppercase p, and what happens is that the line that I paste goes above the line I was currently at. So it's over here. I can do it again, uppercase P. Okay, and then I go back down here and I do a lowercase p, and goes after. Hope that makes sense. So I want to undo, 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 undo. Okay, so that's U for, sorry, lowercase u for undo. Another thing that you can do is DW. So that's going to cut a single word. So I'm going to hit DW, cut a single word. And I'm going to paste it. I'm going to do a P right here. It goes right after the character that I was currently at. So I'm going to undo this. I'm going to paste it again over here. So I'm going to hit P again. And there goes that word. I spliced it in. And once again, you can undo using the U command. Okay, so there are other things that you can do. There's a whole bunch of things. So let's say you're positioned in the middle of a line. I can delete everything from the beginning by saying D0. So the 0 stands for everything from the beginning. Okay, but I have to do it in this order. I have to say D first, so this is lowercase d. I'm going to enter D, and then 0. Cuts everything from the beginning to the point where I am. And you can undo it using the U command. So once again, I'll go over here and hit D, 0. Okay, so I cut everything and I can paste it somewhere else, like over here. I'm going to hit P. Okay, so cut and paste. You can cut and paste. You can cut an entire line and paste it. You can cut a word. You can cut everything from the beginning. You can cut everything from the current position to the end by using D and dollar. So $sign. So here I'm going to hit D. And I'm going to hit dollar. I cut everything from the current cursor position to the end. I go over here and I'm going to use an uppercase P, and I paste it before the current cursor position. Okay, so cut and paste. You can cut a line, a word, everything from the beginning to the current position, everything from the current position to the end. Those are all options, and then you can paste whatever it was that you cut, and you can paste it many times. So try out these different examples using lowercase p, uppercase p. Oops. You can use D to delete. You can use D, sorry, to cut. Y to yank, and that works the same as copy. So Y will copy the current line, and then P will paste it. So the difference between DD and YY is that YY won't remove the line. DD does remove the line, and then you can paste it somewhere else, or exactly where it was before. You can do that too. Okay, so you probably know that now that all of these commands like like D and Y have scope. So if I say Y a $, that means copy everything from the current cursor position to the end of the current line. If I say $, it's the same thing except I'm cutting. So I delete everything from the current cursor position to the end of the line. You do the opposite, or I'm sorry, you can do something that's, I guess, sort of the opposite by saying, for example, D0, and it's not 0D, it's D0. D0 will cut everything from the beginning of the current line to the current cursor position. If you don't want to cut, you just want to copy, you can do that. You can say Y0, Y, and then 0 will copy everything from the beginning of the current line to just before the current cursor position, copies all of that, and then you can paste it elsewhere. Okay, so you can also use to the end of the word, or W for end of the current word. So try out these different options that are shown in the book. D $, once again, that means delete or cut everything from the current cursor position to the end of the current line. And then you can paste it elsewhere. D0 is sort of the opposite. Start from the beginning of the line, go to just before the current cursor position. So if you were positioned right here and you press D0, you would change to this. That is, you would cut the B, Y, and space. And then you can paste it somewhere else. If you were over here and you use DW, you will delete this word. It should be a lowercase o. So what happens is when you're over here, you delete a word, you remove the most and the space after it. Okay, and then you can do different numbers of cuts. So you can cut 3 words by, let's say, if you're positioned over here and you say 3DW, you cut 3 words, and then you can paste it elsewhere. Same thing with DE. DB cuts backwards to the beginning of the previous word. So DW goes forward, DE goes forward, DB goes backwards. And then you can do the same kinds of things with Y. So remember the difference between Y. Y stands for yank, means copy. D stands for delete or cut. So that's the difference. So you can do all of the same things that we did with delete. You can do that with yank too. Okay, another thing that you can do is C, that is change. So you can change a single word. So how does that work? Let's take a look. Let's say you're over here and you say CW. Notice that that word that we were at disappeared and you're in insert mode. And you can type in something else. Escape to stop. So C, and then you can do the same kinds of things that we had before. For example, let's say C and then $, means change everything from the current position till the end of the line, and you can type in something else. Escape to get out of that insert mode, insert text mode. And let's say you go over here and say C, sites C and then 0. Voila, it's just like changing everything from the beginning of that line to the position where you were at. Actually, just before the position you were at. So I would say try this. Try DW, YW, CW. Make sure you know the differences between those things. Okay. So try these different examples. I'm not going to go over this in the interest of time. I'm going to skip this part about buffers, named buffers. Definitely, if you're into VI and you think you want to learn more about this, definitely go over this. In the interest of time, I'm going to skip some of these things. So try buffers, and N. This is not that important. I think it's good to know, but I am not going to test you on this. I'm not gonna require you to learn this. Most of what we've learned so far is enough to get around in VI. I don't customize the VI editor. If you want to go ahead, you can see what the current options are by using set all colon set all, and shows you all the different options. I'm going to hit Q to get out of that, so go ahead and try it. I usually don't change my current options. I don't customize. I just sort of deal with what's there. So the rest of this, I'm hoping that you can go through on your own. I don't change the VI environment. You can change the auto indent and things like that. Then you can even set up all of these options in a special file. I just tend not to do that. If you're really into this, and if you're using VI a lot, sure, I can see why you would want to do this. You can run shell commands from inside VI. Emacs is the editor that's the king of running shell commands from inside the editor, but VI can do those kinds of things too. So here's how you would do it. Let's say you want to execute the date command. You say colon bang or exclamation date, and what this does is start a new shell and execute the date command in it. And here it is. Here's the output of the date command. Alright, and it says press enter to continue. Okay, so for example, let's say you wanted to write this to a file, write your current changes to a file, but you don't know if there already is a file with the same name. Here's how you can check. You say colon exclamation ls. So you're going to execute ls and take a look at all the files that are currently out there so that you don't write to an existing file. So this looks a little bit different, but it tells me all the different file names. Let's say I was just looking for ABC. Oh, it's not there, so I'm safe. So I hit enter. I say colon W ABC because I know it's not there. I'm safe. Okay, so those are all things that you can do in VI. You can execute external commands, shell commands. You can join lines. There's a number of other things. You can do search and replace. Oh, search and replace is definitely something you want to look at. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it. Remember, you can colon slash, and that's searches. You can change things from. You can change a word from uppercase to lowercase, Unix in this case. Type N to find the next occurrence that you can search for, and then dot to repeat the last operation that you did. So you can do a search and replace operation using this kind of this list of commands. Okay. You can also, in some special cases, you can recover files that might have let's say you're running VI and it crashed for whatever reason. You can try to recover that file using -r. Okay, and that's about it for VI. Definitely there's a lot of options. I'm not going to cover every single thing. I think the ones that we went over are the main ones and the important ones to remember. So we will be using VI, especially when we log into a server and we don't have any other alternatives. VI is the only thing that we can use, definitely. So you will need to know VI, even though there are other editors that you can use to edit files.